Hello again, everyone. I'm Richard Weil, and I'm the principal and owner of National Restaurant Consultants, and we welcome you into the NRC Helpful Moment, our 195th edition. And as always, Mr. Brian Devine from Cafe Fuel Top Line Management is here. Brian, how are you doing this afternoon?
I am terrific, thank you. How about yourself?
Good. It looks like winter's finally hit the Rocky Mountains here as far as cold, and
Yep, had to switch to the long sleeves.
I think it was pretty darn cold here in the Denver area this morning. I think we were single digits for sure. And interesting enough, I was speaking to some people in Connecticut today and on a Zoom call, and they had rain. They didn't have snow, but then also was speaking to some people in Buffalo, New York, all over the holiday right before Thanksgiving. And all that snow has been rained on, and it's now ice. So aren't they happy and lucky? So it doesn't matter where you are. It's certainly just about winter time here. I think we got 21 days roughly till it's winter officially. And we hope everybody had a really good and positive Thanksgiving and were able to enjoy some time with family and friends, and know that it could be a stressful time, as we've spoken about, for food service and hospitality industry workers and owners. But today's topic is going to be how to bring them back. Now, how to bring them back, we're really speaking to our guests, to our customers, how to bring them back. It's a lot less expensive to retain customers than to acquire customers.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm going to switch over to Brian here in a few minutes is that cost of acquisition, but how to bring them back, because marketing is not just about putting new butts in seats, about having your residuals continue to come into your restaurants on a every week, twice a week, or at least every other week kind of basis. Frequency is really what it's talked about. And frequency from the operations standpoint is really about meeting those expectations of the guests every time and being consistent. If you're not teaching and training to those points of service, and those points of service start with that guest walking in the door to the second they leave, and the thank yous when they come in and the thank yous when they leave. But everything in between is all about bringing them back. And it's those steps of service that matter, that stay at the top of the mind awareness for the guest, because, hospitality, which is what we're all about, can be lost in one bad event. It could be multiples of things, from the quality of the food, the service, the cleanliness, and the entire environment, even if you think about the music. So what I say to bring them back, look at your restaurant, your business, your operation through the eyes of your guests, through the eyes of your customers. Because if you're walking your business every day, at least multiple times, or your managers are trained to look at the restaurant through the eyes of the guests, that's step one in bringing them back. And that's really the short message from me today. Brian, I know you've got plenty to add to that.
I do. Thank you, Richard. I want to kind of take that a step further, because I think what's happened just in the last maybe 3 or 4 years is that an excellent experience has become the standard. And if what you're doing is excellent, then you're just like everyone else. And if you're below excellent, you're probably not going to make it, right? So we're no longer in that era where you can kind of just do okay and be okay. You're not going to make it, because not only is there a lot of competition, but there's so much noise out there, and people forget about you so fast and easy that you have to do more than the average. So let's say that you are just maxing out and doing a wonderful job inside the restaurant. Your food's amazing. Your service is outstanding. People rave about you as they're walking out. Then you have to go the next level and remind them that you exist, because believe it or not, no matter how amazing their experience was, they're not thinking about you the moment they leave. And in order for them to come back, you have to do something to remind them. And there's lots and lots of ways to do that. Handing them, some type of a bounce back, even if it's just a card, doing something unique where you can pop your, use like one of these little cool little tools where you can pop that on someone's phone and have all of your information on there. And then that way, if you were to reach out, it will pull up your name and not look like just some random call. There's all these things that you can do. But I really want you to hear what Richard said, which was the cost of acquisition for a new customer is a whole lot higher than to bring someone back. And that brings us to my favorite topic, build your list. Because if you are building your list, you're creating a database, that is going to be the most valuable asset your business has. And it also will make it so that if you want to sell your business down the road, you will have an asset to sell. So it is going to be worth more than if you don't have a list. And having that list means that you can just reach out via text, via email, maybe it's Facebook Messenger, whatever it is, to just remind people that you're there and that you would love to see them again. You don't have to do big, crazy offers. You just have to ask people to come back. And even if you are doing some offers sometimes, that's okay. Make sure there's a reason why, so that people aren't just always waiting for whatever your next offer is. And track as much as you can so that you can say, okay, well, we know that when we're not busy and we send out a text, we are then busy. And then you can track that to some extent so that you know that as you build your list and you're at 100, then 500, then 1,000, then 2,000, that you're at a place where you're never worried about whether or not you're going to fill the restaurant. Now, certain days of the year, I think, Richard, you could tell us they're just going to be slow, right? There's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do. They're going to be slow. But if you know you've got some slow days, put something special together to get people in on those slow days, and they won't be so slow. And it's very, very inexpensive to send out a text, to send out an email. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of thought, and that's it. As opposed to running lots and lots of ads to get people to even know you exist. So people that already have had that great experience are much more likely to come back. And even if it's just a, hey, haven't seen you in a while, would love to have you come back, that's pretty much all it'll take for people to go, oh, right, I forgot. Let's go back over there. Because I don't know, Richard, I'm sure you've had this conversation more than once where you say, hey, where would you like to go for dinner? And I don't know about you, but most of my family says, oh, I don't care. And then no matter what I offer, they don't want that. So this I don't care stuff is not real. They obviously do care. But if I'm able to say, hey, I just got a text from this place that we love down the street, and they're offering this special for people just like us, let's go there. Everyone says yes.
Well, it's the TOMA thing, right? It's always about top of the mind awareness and how do you break through the clutter? We just experienced one of the slower days of the year. You just reminded me. I mean, really, the Monday after Thanksgiving weekend is genuinely can be a pretty slow day.
Yeah.
Because people have been out, they've had family, etc. I mean, we're going to have some of that. But we're entering December 1st tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Historically, the next 4 weeks are a robust time. If you're not reminding your customers to come back in today for the whole month, you're missing the message of the NRC Helpful Moment here today, because it really is important. And we have tools, and Brian certainly can help you. National Restaurant Consultants can help you. The first conversation, folks, it doesn't cost you a thing. We're going to give you some ideas. It should be something that you probably already remember, but you've forgotten. That's okay. That's what the NRC Helpful Moment's all about. So that's really what we had for today, right, Brian?
That's it.
Okay, everybody. You all have a productive December coming up here, and so long for now. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.